Have you ever noticed how sometimes the most exciting new gadget is also the one you probably shouldn't buy right away? Well, that's exactly the story with Apple's upcoming iPhone 17 Air. On the surface, it looks like the star of Tuesday's big event, but if you take a closer look, it might actually be the model you want to avoid, at least for now. So here's the situation. Apple is just days away from revealing its brand new iPhone lineup, and all eyes are on this brand new model called the iPhone 17 Air. Now, Bloomberg's Mark Gurman, who is one of the most trusted voices when it comes to Apple leaks and analysis, has already poured some cold water on the hype. In his latest report, he draws a very interesting comparison between this iPhone and something Apple launched way back in 2008, the very first MacBook Air. If you remember, that original MacBook Air was revolutionary in how thin it was. Steve Jobs famously pulled it out of a manila envelope on stage. People were blown away. But then, once the excitement wore off, reality set in. The laptop was expensive, it had weak performance, its battery life was unimpressive, and it was stuck between cheaper MacBooks that did more and the MacBook Pro, which was clearly better. Basically, it looked futuristic, but living with it every day wasn't that great. And Gurman thinks the iPhone 17 Air is walking down that same path. Sure, it's going to be thinner than any iPhone we've seen before, and Apple will no doubt celebrate that on stage. But here's the problem. It's thinner because Apple had to make compromises that people might not like, according to leaks. This phone is expected to come with just a single rear camera in 2025, when even budget phones have two or three. And the battery, well, making the device slimmer means the battery size takes a hit too. So while the regular iPhone 17 will give you better endurance, the Air may struggle to keep up. To make matters worse, the Air is expected to sit right between the iPhone 17 and the iPhone 17 Pro. That's an awkward position. The base model will have better practicality with multiple cameras and a bigger battery, and the Pro will be superior in every way, from performance to features. So what's the Air really offering? Just thinness. And let's be honest, phones today aren't exactly bricks. No one is complaining that their iPhone is too thick to hold. Even Samsung tried something similar recently with its Galaxy S25 Edge. That phone was praised for being slim and sleek, but it didn't sell as well as Samsung hoped. People simply cared more about features, battery, and cameras than shaving off a couple of millimeters of thickness. Apple might be about to learn that same lesson, but here's the twist. Just like the first MacBook Air, which eventually paved the way for Apple's entire laptop lineup to get thinner and more efficient, the iPhone 17 Air might be less about today and more about tomorrow. It's like a test run. Apple gets to experiment with new engineering, new battery chemistry, and new production methods on one model before bringing those changes to the entire lineup in the future. This could even lay the foundation for something Apple has been quietly working on for years, a foldable iPhone. So yes, the iPhone 17 Air might be the most exciting phone on stage next week, but it's not going to be the most practical choice for your money. If you want the safe buy, the iPhone 17 or especially the iPhone 17 Pro are likely to be the better options right now. But if you're the type who loves being on the cutting edge, even if it means dealing with a few sacrifices, the iPhone 17 Air is your ticket to experiencing a glimpse of Apple's future. What do you think? Would you buy a thinner phone if it meant giving up battery life and cameras? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to hit like and subscribe so you don't miss any of our upcoming coverage from Apple's big event.